Black people are still resting, and they're gonna be resting for quite some time, okay? Because I don't think y'all understand the severity. Like, I think that there's some people out here that think that Black people are playing and that we'll eventually get over this and we'll get back to work. No. We will get back to work in our community.
Hey, look, they know how to protest. You hear me? They know how to protest. They know how to protest when it's against us. They know how to organize when it's against us. They know how to burn our communities down. They know how to shoot at us, kill us. They know how to do everything when it's against us or against the system when it ain't about them. They know how to do it. Don't believe nothing they say. If they get in your comments talking about it's us and we don't need to do anything, because this ain't never been about we. Not never. It's always been us against them. And now that them is turned against them, now it's we. No. We all know Black people, we don't like we. Who is we? Who is we? Y'all know we don't like that. But don't believe nothing they say. And don't y'all get out in them streets. They know how to protest. They can ban books and ban schools and ban history and do all kinds of things to protest against their history being known, against our history being known. They can protest a million things when it's against us. But now that they need to protest for the issues that they have caused, and all of a sudden they don't know how to do it. No. Don't believe it for 1 minute. They know what they're doing. They want us and our bodies to get out there, to be the sacrificial lambs, to be the mammies, the mules. But we're not doing it. So don't y'all get out in them streets and don't believe nothing they say. They know how to protest.
Now all of a sudden Black people ain't angry enough. What? I thought we were angry Black people. Angry Black women, loud and obnoxious animal. Now all of a sudden, your boot shaking. Huh? You could never match us in anger regardless. That's why y'all not doing shit now. You could never match us. Ever. It was never a competition. You guys never measured up to par. So I suggest y'all start getting angry. Start imitating us like y'all usually do. Play that Lil Wayne, get in your truck, and go ride out and do some shit about it. Bet. Double dog.
What's up, everybody? And welcome back. So people keep on asking, why aren't Black Americans protesting? Why are they quiet about the ICE raids and the suffering of other minorities? But the truth is that they're not silent. They are setting boundaries, and here is why.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it boldly and out loud. There won't be a large majority of Black people attending the planned nationwide protest of the Trump authoritarian regime. There are several reasons why, but I think the top reason is because, simply put, many white and non-Black people don't actually want Black people to lead a damn thing. Y'all just want us to show up loud, strong, and dependable. You want our bodies on the front lines. You want our voices chanting in the streets. You want our creativity for your posters, our organizing brilliance for your events, our pain to validate your cause, but only if we're mindful of your fragile feelings and your interests first. That ain't leadership, that's labor. And let's be very clear, we see it, we feel it, and we're tired of being used as the moral compass and backbone for every so-called movement while being told to shrink, to soften, to defer, to not make it about race when race is the damn root of the whole thing. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. warned us about white allies in his letter from the Birmingham jail when he said, "I must confess that over the last few years, I have been gravely disappointed with the white moderate. I have almost reached the regrettable conclusion that the Negro's great stumbling block in the stride toward freedom is not the white citizens counselor or the Ku Klux Klanner, but the white moderate who is more devoted to order than to justice, who prefers a negative peace, which is the absence of tension, to a positive peace, which is the presence of justice, who constantly says, I agree with you in the goal you seek, but I can't agree with your methods of direct action, who paternalistically feels he can set the timetable for another man's freedom, who lives by the myth of time, and who constantly advises the Negro to wait until a more convenient season. See the 92%? We've seen this show before. We know how this ends when we fight and die for justice. just to be erased from the victory lap. So no, many of us won't be marching in your carefully curated nationwide protest. Not because we don't care, but precisely because we do. We care about not being tokenized. We care about leading our own liberation. And we care about the fact that when black women speak with fire, some of y'all flinch like we're the problem. Jasmine Crockett, anybody? That's why you're marching now, because you don't listen to black women. Anybody remember a woman named Kamala Harris? If you're truly an ally, it's time to shut up and listen, not center yourself, not water us down, and definitely not police how we fight for our freedom. We're not here to be your workhorses. We're here to be the damn revolution. So step aside if that's just too much for you.
Y'all, black Americans are playing a cold ass game right now, and motherfuckers do not know what to do with this shit. When I tell y'all we got people lost in the motherfucking sauce, we got people lost in the motherfucking sauce, y'all. And you know what I think it is? You know why I think we got people lost? Because we all keep saying it, right? We all keep saying black Americans have this thing where we can telepathically communicate with each other. We don't have to talk. We don't gotta do none of that. Okay? We all reading the tea leaves. We all see what's going on, and we all thinking the same thing. It's like when we don't even know each other. We just be in a room together and something happened and we'd be like that's what we're doing. And so you got people running around like, we need to organize. Bitch, we already organized. We trying to figure out why the fuck you wasn't at the meeting. How'd you miss it? We need to plan. We need to get prepared. We already planned it. We already prepared. How the fuck did you miss it? That lets us know that something real off with you. Because how you missing all the meetings? How you not getting the downloads that the rest of us is getting? Why are you disconnected from the source? Why you ain't got the thing that we all got, right? So they still running around trying to fearmonger, trying to throw shit on the wall, trying to get us outside. We not coming outside. I don't even feel like we need to explain why we not coming outside, because I feel like anybody that's really down with black American people know good and motherfucking well why we not coming outside. Like, I literally seen this video earlier today of this white woman, and she was explaining the whole thing. When I tell y'all that lady nailed that shit, Her whole take was completely accurate, even though I was like, come on now, you're a little too loud because you really calling the play and you need to shut the fuck out. But, you know, we're going to let you do what you do or whatever, because hopefully not too many people see this shit. I hate to say that. I want people's content to be seen, but not that one. Okay, because she was too accurate of what the fuck was going on. Okay, she even used, I like to compare things to like narcissistic relationships. She said black Americans have been in a narcissistically abusive relationship with the American government, so they know more about what is going on right now, and more about what the government is doing, and more about what tactics will be rolled out ahead of time, and they are already maneuvering. And she was even talking about the resting thing. She was like, they said resting, but it doesn't really mean resting, right? That's not what it means. But what it means is they not all outside with what the fuck they got going on. They not all outside talking. Okay, they know everything. Nobody needs to get up here and explain shit to them. They know more than all of us do. Because they have been dealing with this. She was like, basically the glimpse that we are receiving now of this system, they have seen the full head and tail of the beast a long time ago. Okay, so she was like, things that they're doing is not making sense to those who don't get it, and those who cannot fathom the depths of the depravity that they have experienced and have seen. And that's what black Americans are basically developing their strategy from. And so she was like, if anything, she was like, it's one of those situations where she's like, you know how like they say when black people run, you run. She's like, it's like that. I'm not running until they run. They ain't running. If they not running, why the hell am I going to listen to someone telling me to run? If someone's telling me to run and I see that black Americans ain't running, I'm going to sit the hell down. Because they know more about what is going on, but they're not vocalizing it to y'all. When honestly and truthfully, she was like, black people shouldn't have to. They shouldn't have to. Black people shouldn't have to come out here and tell y'all what the fuck to do when really you're going to argue with them and say they don't know what they're doing or what they're talking about. She's like, because basically that's what y'all do anyway. They're resting, they're not doing anything. She's like, they're doing a whole fucking lot. It's just not on Front Street. And I was like, girl, you better talk, girl. You better talk, because that's it. We know a whole lot of what's going on. Black Americans are not stupid, dumb, deaf, dumb or blind, none of that. We know more about what's happening next than y'all do. Okay? So we trust our path. We trust our path. But black Americans, don't y'all get caught up in this shit. It's other black groups, other POCs trying to drag us in shit. Stick to hold the motherfucking lie.
Hey y'all, did y'all know that only a president can inflict martial law? But he needs just cause to do that. But did you also know that only he can take martial law off the table? So that means he can keep martial law on for as long as he see fit. So in 2 years, when we want to vote these spineless ass congressmen out of office and put people in there that'll stand up to him, that's if he lasts 2 years, that he can still say we under martial law. And during martial law, there's no elections going on. You can't do elections during martial law. So he's trying to bait black people to go out there and do violence and protest so he can say, oh, martial law, so it won't be no elections. Then that motherfucker can stay in there forever. In 4 years, he can say, oh, we're still under martial law. That's what he's trying to do. So I'm going to keep putting videos out there and say, black people, stay in the house. The system been doing us wrong for so fucking long, and now the system needs us for violence. It needs our attitude. It needs our violence. It needs us to get angry. So they trying to release people that they know will make us angry. So just stay angry and just stay sitting. Because by doing nothing, we're disrupting this natural flow of America. America is being disrupted. Because without black people doing what we do best, the system is breaking down. And not to mention Trump breaking down the system by his damn self. But it needs us. So we ain't going to give him what he wants. Release them all. That's all I say. We still ain't going to do nothing. They'll probably get theirs in the street, but we ain't going to do nothing. We ain't going to go out there. We're sitting down and doing nothing because right now we're fucking winning this shit. And we could play the long game. We've been playing this game since America started. We could start this game over again.
Black Americans do have the right to say that we're minding our own business. Black Americans have done enough. Okay? Black Americans don't have to be the voice for every single group and every other person. And black Americans are allowed to be tired, to be like, you know what? Y'all figure it out. We told y'all what to do. You didn't want to listen, whatever. Blah, blah, blah.
Why didn't black people show up to protest? So this was a question I received in my inbox, and I want to address it. And I'll give a little bit of a history lesson, but also I want to be careful in the way that I articulate it because I don't want to be offensive, but I also need to be very blunt. Black people don't matter. Not to law enforcement, not to this administration. The police force was created. Its initial inception was done to chase down black people, enslaved black people who escaped. They wrote laws and legislation. They said black people had a mental illness that made them want to escape slavery. They classified it as a mental illness, something wrong with our brains. And even as recent as the Civil Rights March, we saw tons of action, peaceful, non-violent action that was still met with scores of police officers and dogs, and we were hosed down in the streets. We were beat with batons. Our bodies did not matter then, and they don't matter now. Not to this administration. They would love nothing more than for black people to get out in the street, protest, so that they can declare martial law. It's not safe for us to protest. Can you imagine thousands of black people on the streets? Can you imagine us saying, hands off?
that we matter. Can you imagine what that would actually look like? What that would look like, what the video footage would show. I can guarantee you it will not show police officers blockading the street so that we can protest peacefully. It will not show police officers walking hand in hand with protesters. The headlines will read something like, rioters overtake the city. Looters are not welcome in our area. Even if there are no riots, no one is looting. The storyline is different when there are black bodies involved. Because black lives don't matter. Not in the way that they should. It's not safe for us to be in the streets. It's not safe for us. It's not safe for our country. And honestly, 92% of black women, 80% of black men said absolutely not. And I don't know what it was. I don't know what clicked. We didn't have a meeting. There was no Zoom call. But on Wednesday, November the 6th, we all woke up and we decided to sit down. Because see, black people have been fighting. We have been fighting for hundreds of years. One of the kids' books, I'll do a review on it. One of the kids' books that me and my children have gone over, it is called Born on the Water. And it talks about chattel slavery and how the greatest form of resistance was to keep existing. That's what black people are doing. We are continuing to exist. And for us, at this point, that means sitting back so that we can continue to exist.
Black Americans are setting boundaries because for the longest time, they have been warning the country about white supremacy, the dangers of supporting leaders who dehumanize people, about racism. But every time they speak, they are being ignored or labeled as angry. And setting up boundaries, it means you don't allow people to treat you as a resource. You don't allow people to come to you only when they need something. And you don't allow people to use your pain as entertainment and your strength as a backup plan. And another thing, a lot of minorities in America, they have tried to distance themselves from black Americans, believing that it would protect them. They believe that proximity to whiteness will keep them safe. And when the system turns on them, they keep looking for black Americans to help them and to fight for them. But that's not true solidarity. If you want true solidarity, you must fight for black Americans too. Not just when it's convenient or when it makes you look good. If you want true unity, you must stand with black Americans when they are being attacked, dehumanized, killed, or when their voices are being silenced. So I've seen some people say that black Americans are weak or they are afraid, but black Americans are not weak, you know. They are simply choosing to protect themselves and choosing survival because they have done enough for the country, you know. From the time the country was built, they have been fighting, not just to survive, but to make America live up to its words and promises. They fought through slavery, lynching, segregation, Jim Crow, redlining, mass incarceration, police brutality. So they have marched, you know. They have organized, they have protested, they have bled, and they have died. The civil rights that so many immigrants enjoy today, and the rights to vote, the right to protest, the right to speak freely, they were not handed out freely, you know. Black Americans bled for it. They sacrificed a lot for it. So I think black Americans saying that they are resting, I think their point is valid because they have given enough, you know. They have sacrificed enough, and now it's time to let them breathe and watch the space and let other people fight for the country too. So thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.